So this is our very first episode with David and I. And so we're going to welcome you and kind of go over what David and I will talk about tonight throughout the next episodes. Um, and I'll let him explain things from his point of view as well. Um, just to kind of be clear, everything that we talk about, we try to be as real, as honest as possible. We're not trying to offend anybody at all. Um, a lot of the questions you'll hear me ask are pretty novice questions, I guess you'd kind of call it, since I'm so new to Christianity or new to being a believer. Um, Much of what we'll talk about is designed to go towards new believers or people that are broken, burned out, maybe have gone to church, still kind of confused, don't really know what's going on. But we'll get into that a little bit more. But I just want to give you a quick little overview, and then I'll introduce who we are. And so for me, I'm a veteran. I served in the Army for about 15 years, and then I medically retired out. Um, just had a lot of stuff go wrong towards the end, and uh, wasn't for me anymore. And my body said it's time to go. So I decided to become a coach. Shifted around in the sales world a little bit. Saw a lot of broken people in there. A lot of people just living on hope every single day, but pointing hope in the wrong direction. So I decided to kind of point my directions towards coaching. Became certified through the University of California, Davis, and still currently working on my international coaching uh, federation certification, so I can coach internationally. Uh, so I'm a like I said, I'm already new. I'm new to coming to being a believer. So, just a turning point for me, I guess, to get me to believe really was the unwavering faith of friends that just never left my side, knowing that, hey, he's hurting right now. He's in a bad way, but let's not just turn our back. Let's see if there's more. So that right there made me have a better understanding of what believers really think, and what we should all think and know is that, at the basis of everything is love, and love for another brother is what brought me closer to Christ, I think. So, but I'll let David introduce himself. So,
Well, hello, this is David. Let's see, where do I start? So just like Matt, I'm also a veteran. I served in the Navy for about 4 years, active duty, and another 6 years in the reserves. Um, so I've been a believer for man, like almost forever, but not really. I was my parents became Christian when I was maybe like around kindergarten, around there. So you could probably say that was my whole life. Um, well, that those kind of things really doesn't matter to one, like truly being saved or anything like that, like truly becoming a believer, entails you having an experience, um, a unique experience of your own. And pretty much that's what happened to me before I got into ministry and when I felt a calling to become a pastor. And with just a lot of feelings, sometimes unknown, kind of what do you call it? Things that you can't really talk with about to other people because it's just things they don't really
they can't seem to kind of grasp, right?
yeah, they can't grasp or they can't understand. Not that they're not smart enough to do it, but it's a whole different level.
Our language almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost like talking politics with somebody, and that's somebody that understands politics fully, and then there's, like, the guy that kinda dabbles in it, and then there's the person that thinks they kinda know what they're doing, but not really.
Right. And, but yeah, like, some of those feelings were like, feeling pain, for people, um, which is kind of weird, like feeling other people's pain and, their loss and, just people searching for meaning, and for me, I'm just like, man, well, why am I feeling these things? And I had no idea what was going on,
Yeah,
and then just kind of had what do you call it, one of those moments, come to God moments, just like
an epiphany.
kind of, and, I kind of just surrendered to those feelings, just okay, well, I gotta, I gotta start looking and seeing how I can help people with these issues, and that's when I kind of start feeling the feeling of becoming a pastor, just like that need that there's so many churches out there, but yet there's a lot of people out there who are not finding those needs, their needs met, and it's pretty sad because the church has become something that they shouldn't have become. More worried about performances versus helping out community.
Yeah,
And so that's one of the main reasons why I chose ministry and why I mean I'm still new to the ministry myself, but I mean I've been in the walk with God, for quite many years, and so right now I'm just hoping I can talk with people, and meet them and try to help them out, even if they're not really like looking for that God moment or something like that, like just letting them know, like, hey, like we're here to help. We're here to be at your side and show us support that they're not finding elsewhere.
and and that's a big reason why David and I created this entire podcast, and we created, and the Shift is, if you'll notice, is kind of a collaboration of things, or a collaboration of minds that have just came together, that have one common purpose, and that's just to serve anybody and everybody that's listening to us. And so with David and I, the goal was to, for me, he's been such an intricate part of my faith growth, that I really wanted to do a project with him, and this is something him and I have talked about forever, and we just decided to do it. And and it's really based off a lot of questions that I come up with, and I bombard him with a ton of stuff here and there, and um, because I don't know. So I would definitely consider myself pretty broken in that aspect. I'm a puzzle piece that's been definitely shattered. Now we're trying to put the pieces back together, and at the end, it's going to be a beautiful thing to look back at. But that's why we wanted to do this. And a another part, which I think a lot of people are afraid to do, is we're mixing a little bit of mental health in with this. I shouldn't say a little bit. There's mental health that's mixed in with it, because it's an extremely important part of, I don't think people understand enough about how much your faith plays into your mental health, and where the misconceptions are, and where maybe some hurdles that you've been stuck at, you might be able to get past it. Because I know I was stuck behind a lot of things that some might say are weird, or, I'm talking to, something that somebody that I can't see or touch, or, necessarily hear. But, you know, there's, there's healing that comes from your faith, that will cure a lot of mental health issues that you don't even realize. So, um, and we have a heart for people that's, that have left the church. David knew me when I was like cold, callous. I didn't care about anything. You tried to talk to me about God, I would tell you to shut up. So like this is the whole reason behind this podcast. So
Yeah. You mentioned a lot like the mental health part, and it's just like I think that's one part in life that people refuse. Well, not refuse, but they fail to touch on. And next thing you know, you're dealing with all this anxiety, all this depression, and so many feelings that you cannot comprehend because we let this mental state go out for far too long, without being treated. And honestly, a lot of the times, all it takes is just being heard, talking it out, and just seeking other people, with similar issues or just whatever. I don't know, just whatever it takes, to be heard. And so hopefully, like I said, this program here can help out. Just even if it helps out one person, I mean, I'd be more than satisfied with this project.
yeah. And for us, I mean, a lot of this is, what we've learned the hard way. And what you'll notice is that everything that we talk about is something that we've been through. I'm not going to share somebody else's experiences because it's just not for me, but we will have people on here eventually that will talk about their experiences. And and this is not to try and convert you over. We're not here to baptize the thousands and stuff like that. We're just here to talk real. And that's what it is. Just two brothers that, genuinely care about every single person that's on this planet. Um, Believer, non-believer. Of course, we hope you're a believer, like, and maybe you're not because you just haven't heard the right message or there hasn't been enough reason for you to be a believer. So, and, unfortunate for me, I learned the hard way. And I think that's probably the best way, honestly, is to learn through suffering. I don't know what your thoughts are, David, but I mean, that's kind of,
Well, I mean, I would rather not deal with it, or learn from the hard way. Just be a little bit more. That's just my way of thinking. I don't want to feel the pain too much, but I mean, there's times where there's no way around it. We have our heads, our thoughts made up, and we do what we got to do. And later on, we're like, oh man, I wish I could have done it another way. And yeah, like I've had many experiences that I probably shouldn't have dealt with, but it's all because of my stubbornness. But at the same time, I'm glad. I mean, I don't, what do you call it? I don't regret anything. I think everything happens for a purpose, and everything seems to be working out as planned. Well, not my plan, but God's plan for sure.
right. And before we go too much further, like, we'll try as best as possible not to use too many cliche statements. And like, and we will dig further into the why. We're not just going to use like this is God's plan or stuff like that. The goal behind this is that we will try to figure out what the plan actually is, but we also know that we're probably never going to figure out what the plan is. Like, but we're on the hunt and it's going to be a fun one. So,
Mm. There's so many directions we could go with this.
yeah. I mean, honestly, it can, people, people don't understand the magnitude of learning that can come just by, digging into the gospel um, and reading and learning and trying to get an understanding of life. And that's something personal for me that I had to like kind of look at, like, oh, like why do I need a book to, guide my entire life? And then I was like, oh wait, I served in the military and everything was done by a regulation and that. Go to school, everything's you're taught is from a book, from a person that's been handed down from generation to generation. So, it prompted me to want to stop thinking so closed-minded and just want to open up God's word and just take a look at it and just see what's up, see what's going on in there, how it applies to my life and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But and you know, I think the more that people take a look into it even further, they'll be hungry to learn like what goes on around the world. Like like people are always like, why is all this happening? Why is the wars? Why is this? Why is that? You know, take the time to learn what's going on. I took a 15-week course on the perspectives of the world Christianity movement. And it wasn't because I wanted to figure out how I could convert the thousands and, you know, pave my way to heaven. It's like, as a Christian, or if I'm a Christian, I want to understand how everybody sees us. I want to understand more about all the other religions, not just ours, because at the end of the day, love thy neighbor. And how the heck am I supposed to be able to talk to anybody else if I don't understand them at all?
Yeah.
So, but, and I know we're kind of getting off a little bit topic, but well, not really actually, because I did have to learn the hard way. I did have to learn this. And I realized how impoverished I was in my life by not having faith as a guidance. It's not that we should need to have that as a guidance, but if it's not there, we all kind of need a moral compass, right? Everybody has some form of moral compass. And if they don't, then they're probably in jail, or just, waiting to go to jail, or things are just not going right for them. I don't know.
I mean, it's just the Bible's not as because everybody says like it's too religious or whatever it is, but in reality, the Bible has a lot more in common with every single people's life than they actually think. I mean, simple things like don't commit murder, don't commit adultery. When we have rules for those things, like I mean, we got them from somewhere.
Right. And even those things, it's like, don't commit them, one, because it's extremely bad, but the repercussions that come with it, you know, look at just don't commit adultery. Okay. Like, the repercussions that come out of it, the hurt that you inflict on the person that you love or the other loved ones and stuff like that. It's not even, people look at something that's scribed on a tablet, and they take it so much for just its face value and never look further into it. It's like, don't do this because you're gonna hurt people. You're gonna hurt somebody.
Mm.
And I'm guilty of that. I've broken hearts. I've broken my own heart, you know? And some people will tell you, well, you reap what you sow. And well, yeah, you're absolutely right. But that doesn't, you know, maybe if I would have, dug in a little bit further, I wouldn't have been quite so bad with it, or it's a moral compass is really what it is. And if you believe, then that doctrine itself is what you follow. I mean, if people, like I said it with the political party stuff, if you'll follow the doctrine of a political party, like why can't you read the doctrine of life?
Mm.
in whichever translation you I guess makes sense to you. So, but but I guess we should probably tell them, like kind of what to expect. Yeah. So we'll ramble on for hours. Deep. What you can really expect from us is talk just like you just heard. Like, and we will discuss things like this. They will be structured. Um, we're not going to give sermons. Um, I won't let David do it, and I'm not going to do it no matter how much he wants me to. But we do plan to talk a lot about like church hurt, spiritual burnout, emotional healing, parenting, kind of what it's like to be a dude and new to faith or being one with God. And of course, people that are new to faith. We will have some people on here that are guests. Um, some will tell you who they are, some won't. And we just look forward to telling you more about what we have in store. And so,
Yeah, I mean, we're trying not to make this um like there's too much God in this conversation, um, but it is there will be a lot of faith in there, and um, but we'll try to keep it to the point where it's like more relative to everybody, um, more I guess I don't know, like kind of like more secular than anything. Um, I'm not gonna be Bible thumping you.
there you go. There you go. More
Yeah.
with the ability that you could approach this with an open mind and still gather something out of it. There you go.
Right.
Approach everything that we discuss with an open mind, and you'll be fine. And so, because at the end of the day, our goal is not to offend anybody, but
Right.
we will talk about some hard stuff. And if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. It's just unfortunate. It's just how things go. And
Yeah.
so,
Definitely not the intention to offend anybody or anything like that, but there's topics that has to be had. Like we have to have those conversations, and hopefully we're all adults enough to just deal with the conversation. Like in a proper way. We're not going to be arguing or anything like that back and forth, and everybody has their own right to their opinions.
couldn't agree more. But so I'm gonna kind of wrap this up with us, so that way we can get prepared for our next release, which we have not picked a day for that yet. And I'll take the opportunity right now to kind of apologize for that because I've been lacking for the last month, maybe 45 days, maybe 2 months. I don't know. On getting this stuff really going. But wanted to make sure that before we did actually try to put something out that we were prepared and it wasn't just flung together and we're not doing this for likes and shares and follows and stuff. We're doing it because it's good conversation. It's great for others to hear. It's great for us to get feedback from other people. It'll help us grow, help you grow. Um, you know, make the world a better place, all that good, happy stuff.
We should try to.
Yeah, right, exactly. But definitely thank you. If you took the time to listen to this, thank you so much. Um, David is the leader of Last Call Ministries. You can find him on Facebook. David, how do they find you?
I'll probably leave a little note on there on the Facebook page for you guys, but you can definitely go by my email, David at minul.org, and shoot me an email, and we got stay in contact. Any questions, faith based, I'd be more than happy to help you out with that. Even if not faith based, we're still human, just like anybody else. So we also endure the same pains, the same experiences as any other non-Christian, so um, definitely I'm open to any sort of conversation.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you again. You can follow us, or if you search the Shyft, and that's SHYFT, and you'll find us on Facebook. It is a private group. You can join it, and there's a lot of good coaching and helpful tips in there. But this is just the beginning. I hope you feel like you belong here, even if you don't believe in anything yet. And look forward to talking to you guys the next time.